This is the Northern Kentucky Area Planning Commission. Who we are and what we do centers on serving you and the communities in which you live. How do we do this? By analyzing community needs, seeking citizen input, and crafting plans to address those needs. Because we plan today, and we help ensure a more prosperous, safer tomorrow. It started with a vision over 50 years ago. A vision to help our communities grow and our economy prosper. In 1960, the Kentucky legislature authorized NKAPC to coordinate growth and improve economic competitiveness. Then, as now, the primary goal was to provide professional support to local government's planning and zoning functions. As needs grew, NKAPC's role evolved to include administering state building codes and mapping aspects of modern life that support local schools, utilities, and government operations. Generally, local governments are comprised of a chief executive, a legislative body, perhaps a professional administrator in various departments. As intended by the state legislature, NKAPC supports those functions that guide growth and prosperity most directly, such as planning and zoning, permitting and code enforcement, GIS mapping, and some functions of public works. These departments are expensive and often difficult to justify for small to medium-sized jurisdictions. So partnering with other governments through NKAPC makes financial sense and creates a team of professionals that serve everybody on a full-time basis. And to assure accountability, individual jurisdictions retain control to guarantee local community goals are met. As outlined in the legislation that created NKAPC, each local jurisdiction sends one of its elected officials to sit on NKAPC's oversight board. This board sets the general direction for the organization and approves its budget. It also appoints a 7-member group to supervise the professional staff and act on its behalf. Within this framework, local governments and their citizens get better services from a full-service staff at a lower cost than it would take for a jurisdiction to fund their own similar services. Local businesses and economic development efforts benefit from the critical mass and absence of bureaucratic redundancies. The Northern Kentucky Area Planning Commission streamlines government services and helps to analyze and plan for the community's future. With the support of NKAPC, local governments are better able to confront the challenges they face in increasing numbers. Have you ever wondered why communities grow the way they do? Is it left to chance? Or is someone actually thinking about these issues? NKAPC's long-range planners are charged with this responsibility. They work with local officials, citizens, and interest groups to make sure that the communities grow in a way that benefits everyone. What about zoning laws? Who writes them? Who administers them? And why are they important? NKAPC's current planning staff works with 20 local governments to make sure their zoning ordinances move their communities forward. They also work with developers and citizens to make sure that change within the community benefits everyone. NKAPC's Infrastructure Engineering Department reviews detailed plans for new subdivisions. It also provides consumer protection by inspecting streets and sidewalks to assure that homeowners don't get stuck with expenses from shoddy or substandard construction. Have you ever wondered why a newly paved road has to be dug up and then patched? NKAPC did and is working with local and state officials and also the local utilities to facilitate the coordination and communication that will cut down on the number of times this happens. Do you use MapQuest or Google Maps? Ever wonder where they get their electronic mapping data? They get it from NKAPC's Geographic Information System, or GIS department. In addition to providing data to commercial entities, it also supports local emergency service providers, homeland security officials, school districts, and the list goes on and on. Failing to enforce building codes and emergency standards was a local and national tragedy for our region. But what have we learned from that tragic event? NKAPC's Building Codes Department reviews plans and inspects all aspects of new construction to assure that standards are met. Whether for an individual house, a commercial or industrial enterprise, or a modern high-rise. This is but a limited list of the services provided by NKAPC. Today, 50 years after the Kentucky legislature acted on a Northern Kentucky vision, our communities are stronger, safer, and financially secure, and better prepared for the future because of NKAPC. Citizens and business interests are always welcome at NKAPC's office, located conveniently adjacent to I-71-75 in Fort Mitchell. Staff is always happy to assist you with questions that you might have, or visit them on the web at www.nkapc.org. Here you'll find everything you need to know about the organization's functions, including the one-stop shop program that unifies local zoning and Kentucky Building Code responsibilities. You can also browse the website for regional news and information, read about many of the community's long-term planning goals, review local studies being conducted, and download many required documents and forms. You can see public notices for meetings, or review engineering requirements for new development. You can also learn more about our Link GIS services at www.linkgis.org. Whether person to person or across the miles through the World Wide Web, NKAPC is here for you. Analyzing current problems, planning for future growth, and striving to make this community the envy of communities everywhere. These are our goals. This is our commitment. The Northern Kentucky Area Planning Commission.